deadly weapon suspect northbound on Cherry Street, just coming within about a mile's range of the 91 freeway here. He can at that point jump onto the 91 freeway or stay on Cherry Street and head in towards, we'll say, the Bellflower area here. So we'll watch and see what he does here. But from what we can tell at this point, just one occupant at this time here, just taking over that number 1 lane there. I can count as many as, wow, okay. Let's widen out the shot just a little bit here just to give everyone an idea of how many units are following this guy. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. At least 9, perhaps something more on the order of 10 units that are chasing this guy just in close proximity here. So now we're just coming up within about 2 blocks of the 91 freeway. We'll be coming up on Artesia here shortly, Artesia, and we'll see what he does here. Again, he can't pick up the 91 freeway east or westbound or just stay on Cherry, and he's just coming up past Artesia, and it looks like he's going to go through Artesia here, and let's see what he does in the next half a block here. You can, again, get on the 91 freeway right here or stay on Cherry and head right underneath the 91 freeway, and that looks like what he may be doing. Of course, he can't get on the freeway westbound there, but it looks like he's going to be heading in towards the Bellflower area here. Now look at what he's doing, making evasive maneuvers around slower moving traffic here and presenting, again, a very dangerous situation for commuters and pedestrians alike. Look at him. My goodness. Okay, so this guy's basically doing whatever he can just to avoid stopping and ending this pursuit here, guys. Well, you know, we initially heard this over the police channels at about 8 o'clock this morning, and we made our way south from the valley here through a little bit of weather here. But, again, this thing has been going on for at least half an hour. And when we initially heard it, Jessica, this was in the South Bay, and the South Bay police departments were pursuing this guy. And at the time that we actually started listening to it, he was already in the Linwood area here. So from Linwood, he made his way over towards Long Beach, down below the Long Beach airport area here before turning northbound on Cherry. And right now, that is basically where we are at, Cherry Street northbound, and we'll be coming up on Alondra here in just a matter of about half a block. And Alondra is going to be a major intersection. It looks like he's got a green light, so he's going to take that and go right through the intersection there. So again, you see this guy, he's just kind of taking up that number 1 lane. He is coming up on some occasional slower traffic, but you can see the maneuvers that this guy is undertaking to get by some of that slower traffic. He'll go around the kind of to the right to the slow lane there, and of course that is going to endanger pedestrians who are on the sidewalks and in the intersections there. But there's a stop sign or a stop light that he's going to slow down for. And there he goes. Okay, right again, northbound on Cherry. We continue northbound from Alondra here, and we'll be coming up on now Somerset Boulevard over towards Rosecrans. Rosecrans will be the major here, just coming up here shortly. But several units are in pursuit of this guy, as well as an airship overhead, so this guy likely will not be able to get away. Oh, my gosh. Okay, coming up on traffic, kind of cross traffic there, trying to turn left in front of him here, and that is always a dangerous situation here in terms of visibility and such. So again, this guy just moving very recklessly northbound on Cherry here, guys. Coming up on Rosecrans. Share 7 TV5. As much as you know, is this an ADW guy? Oh boy, okay. Okay, here we go. Crossing over the 105 at Garfield. That is the 105 freeway. Now we're just crossing over Century Boulevard here. Some new information that I just got from the sheriff's helicopter overhead. This guy pointed an AK-47 type of an assault rifle at Southgate police officers here, and he is still believed to be armed with that assault rifle somewhere on the front seat or somewhere in the cab of that red Dodge Ram pickup truck here. So this is most certainly an assault with a deadly weapon here. Again, an AK-47 involved and was pointed apparently at a police officer here. So northbound on Garfield is where we are. We've just passed Century, and we will be coming up on Gardendale Street here in a matter of about a block and a half here. So they're going to be very interested in getting this guy into custody here, but again, with an abundance of caution here for the commuters on the road as well as pedestrians here. Fortunately, this guy's not driving at at speeds that we have seen some of these pursuits go. He's basically going 30, 40, 50 miles an hour here, even on surface streets, so something a little bit more manageable in terms of keeping up with this guy as far as the units that are behind him here. Again, what I can tell right now, 6 to 8 units are in close proximity behind him, a sheriff's airship overhead, and this guy is northbound on Garfield, and he'll be coming up on Imperial Highway here in about an eighth of a mile here. So he'll be kind of making the sweeping right-hand turn. This guy in the red Dodge Ram pickup truck being pursued here for the better part of well over half an hour at this point. Again, apparently pointing an AK-47 at a Southgate police officer here, and that is what precipitated the pursuit here. But now coming up on Imperial Highway, he's going to be coming up on a busy intersection where he has a red light. He's going into the wrong lanes of traffic here. It looks like he wants to make a right turn, but he's going to go straight through the intersection, continuing northbound on Garfield here, passing Imperial Highway, and again, just coming up through the city here, but again, a very dangerous situation we have now. We now understand that he again pointed an AK-47 type assault rifle at an officer here, guys. 5 is just over Garfield here, maybe just on the east side of it, crossing Imperial. We're northbound 1.1. Thank you. Garfield. He's going to come into some trees here for about 15 seconds. Okay, coming out. He's just crossing over Southern through the intersection. Northbound on Garfield, just coming up on Firestone in about half a block, Jessica. And Firestone, they've got a red light. You can see him traveling in the wrong lanes of traffic here because he's coming up on a red light here. And so there you go. He's going to be coming up on Firestone. It looks like he's going to wiggle his way through the intersection there as he proceeds northbound. It looks like this guy intends to go north. I mean, he is not trying to go right or with the flow of traffic. It looks like he is definitely trying to go northbound for whatever reason here. He is resisting all of the cross traffic and still trying to maintain a northerly heading, which seems a little bit odd to me. But again, northbound on Garfield, he's just crossed over Firestone, and so now we are just coming into an area of more residential neighborhoods here. And so he's going to come into a fork in the road, and he's going to stay to the right. He's going to stay to the right, and that is going to keep him on Garfield Avenue. That fork is right at the intersection of Eastern and Garfield. He'll stay on Garfield and proceed at a fairly decent rate of speed here. You can see what this guy, as we watch our video here, that this guy is doing everything he can to avoid stopping, to avoid having to slow down here for slower traffic here. He'll maneuver in and out. Look at that. Perfect example there. Moving into the wrong lanes of traffic to avoid stop traffic ahead. That stop traffic is at a red light, and that you can see right there. But now he's back in the right lanes of traffic here. But again, you can see that this guy is literally doing whatever it takes to to avoid stopping or slowing down and losing some of his momentum there and potentially putting himself in a situation where he might be involved in a standoff with officers here. So again, just moving northbound on Garfield, there's the sheriff's helicopter that I can see directly overhead, and several units still in tow behind him. But this guy's just, again, moving in what appears to be kind of a desperate state here as he proceeds northbound on Garfield here. Guys. Florence coming up. So we've crossed Florence. Bell Gardens coming up on Gage. Ooh. Yeah, and we've seen that before. He is just, again, doing everything he can to prevent slowdown there. He's just coming up on our intersection there. I think that might be Gage, where he is having to slow down a little bit here, stop traffic for a red light, and so he'll do whatever he needs to, including maneuvering into the wrong lanes of traffic here. And he may have to do that again because looking up ahead at Gage, that is going to be a similar situation where he's got a lot of stop traffic ahead, and so that is exactly what he's doing. We're just kind of tracking here right off his six, and we'll see what he does. He's just coming up on a red light. Cross traffic ahead is not moving through the intersection, so they may be reading him and trying to get traffic stopped ahead of the game. But again, there was no cross traffic to contend with at that point. It looks like there was an officer in the intersection here with his lights on, so that maybe caused the stoppage of traffic through the intersection. And for safety's sake, that is probably the best possible scenario here as this pursuit moves through Bell Gardens here. But northbound on Garfield Avenue here, we've just crossed over Gage. This guy moving into more of a commercial or an industrial part of Bell Gardens here as we maneuver northbound again on Garfield Avenue here. He'll be coming up on Slauson in just a matter of a minute or so, and that'll be another major intersection here. I can see a major, and that's going to be Slauson here that he comes up on in about a block or so, and that is going to be a situation where he has a red light. Cross traffic is moving ahead of him here, and so he'll have to slow down, and we'll see if he again tries to do that wiggle maneuver here and try and get through that cross traffic, but it looks like he's slowing down at the very least. Gently moving into the intersection. Cars are having to slow down. Some of these cars are seeing some of the police department guys behind him here, and again, there he goes. They're stopping. They're moving through the intersection, continuing northbound on Garfield, just crossing over Slauson now, and as we get closer to the 5 freeway here, we'll be closer to the 5 freeway in about a block and a half or so, and he does have an opportunity to get on the 5 freeway either north or south, and so let's see what he does here. You know, it's kind of an unusual thing that he has taken from Long Beach all the way northbound along Cherry, then Garfield, all the way up to the 5 freeway here. He has taken surface streets all the way from Long Beach up into, nearly the city of Commerce at this point. So, again, he'll just be coming up on the 5 freeway here in just a matter of a couple of seconds. He's just going to go under the 5 freeway, and let's see what he does as he emerges out from the other side. He'll be crossing over the railroad tracks or crossing underneath the railroad tracks at the very least, and just crossing through Telegraph. Ginger knows that well, but again, Telegraph, and he continues northbound on Garfield underneath the train tracks, and it looks like we're going to be heading up in towards the Montebello area here as this pursuit continues to cross over through several cities. Yeah, you know what? In that he is not deviated on his northbound transition here, and incidentally, we're just coming up on Washington. Let's see what he does as he comes up on a red light here. Again, he does that maneuver where he moves into the wrong lanes of traffic. Traffic is not necessarily moving through the intersection, so he kind of just sails right through. Northbound on Garfield, just crossing through Washington, and again, just continues on this northerly track here, which in some ways might be an easy read for officers on the ground. As he comes into Montebello here, they may be able to get ahead of the game here and either stop traffic or maybe lay down some spike strips. We just don't know at this point what the strategy is, but again, he's just kind of moving northbound and has not turned left or right off of this street since just below the 405 freeway. So coming out of Long Beach, he has basically moved up Garfield this whole way, and now coming into Montebello will be into a residential area. Once you cross over these tracks, this is going to be definitely more of a residential area here, and that could pose hazards here because I do see a few schools up ahead, and in fact, I do have a, we're going to be coming up on a school here in just a matter of about a mile or so, and so that's going to be Cantwell Sacred Heart of Mary High School, and hopefully we don't have any pedestrians out there. But again, this pursuit moves through in a matter of another 30 seconds or so. He's going to be coming up on a red light here, so let's see what he does. He either turns or he's going to move into the opposing lanes of traffic, but now we have traffic moving southbound, so he's going to tie himself up here. He's going to tie himself up. Is he going to lock himself up in the slow lane? Is he going to hit the sidewalk? Let's see what he does here, but okay, he's going to make his way through the intersection, and that is going to be Whittier Boulevard. Whittier Boulevard. So he's now passing in front of the campus. Let's widen out the shot just a little bit here. Passing in front of the campus of that Sacred Heart of Mary High School here. So hopefully we don't have anyone out in front of the school at this point, but just kind of making that sweeping left-hand turn here in front of the high school. And as we continue along Garfield Avenue here, we'll be coming up on Beverly Boulevard as he makes that sweeping right-hand turn away from the high school here. So he's going to be coming up on a red light. There you go, right through the red light, and we've seen this time and time again, this guy not necessarily maneuvering at high rates of speed, nonetheless still doing some very dangerous things in terms of moving into opposing lanes of traffic, moving past red lights at major intersections and such, and so we're just now coming up on Beverly Boulevard, and Beverly Boulevard is going to be a green light for him. He goes right through the intersection there, and again, you know, Garfield, as you go northbound from the 5 freeway, is going to be kind of a winding road as you enter the San Gabriel Valley here, but again, he's making that sweeping right-hand turn. Okay, and he'll be on a straightaway here for about another eighth of a mile, then another left-hand sweeping turn around the Montebello Country Club, and then up towards the 60 freeway, So here we go, coming through Montebello here, and again, this guy moving in just 2 lanes of traffic northbound on Garfield here. So again, let's see if he continues on his northerly track. Does he get on the 60 freeway? Let's see what he does here in the matter of the next quarter to an eighth of a mile here. So we're closing in on the 60 freeway here, where he does have slower traffic ahead. Is he going to stay to the right? Is he going to go to the left? Let's see what he does here. And it looks like he's going to try and go to the right here, and just now approaching the 60 freeway, and he's got one more street to cross over before he goes underneath the 60. He's going to make a right turn. He's going to make a right turn underneath or just south of the 60 freeway here. So there's something that we haven't seen. He's actually deviated off of Garfield. Now we're on Via Campo eastbound off of Garfield here, and we're just parallel the 60 freeway on the south side of it. You can see them, that they are kind of in pursuit of this guy. So let's see what he does here. But the sheriff's helicopter flying through the shot right there. And we are right at the intersection of, let's see, Via Campo and Wilcox Avenue here. Wilcox Avenue, he goes right through the intersection, continuing eastbound on Wilcox. Coming through Montebello again, just on the south side of the 60 freeway. In another block or so, he can, if he goes straight, he can get on the 60 freeway eastbound. And let's see what he does over the course of the next half a mile or so, because if he goes to the next intersection, and that is going to be Vale Avenue. Vale Avenue, he can enter the 60 freeway eastbound. And the 60 freeway eastbound not necessarily moving too fast at this time, and so some smooth sailing for him if he decides to get on that 60 freeway here. But no, he's going to go northbound, turning northbound. And let's see what he does here, guys. Crossing under the 60 freeway here. Does he go to the right? Does he go to the left? If he goes straight, he's going to go straight into the neighborhood. And it looks like he's going to make the right turn here. Make the right turn, and that is going to push him into Greenwood Avenue here. Greenwood Avenue, I believe. And we'll try and follow this through and see where he goes here. But he's entering basically the northern part of the 60 freeway here. Still in the Montebello area, but again in an industrial area here and in a business park, where it looks like what's he going to do here? He's kind of stopping behind cars who are turning left into an industrial park. So let's see what he does here. It looks like he is also going to make that left turn. And let's see what he does here, because this could put him in a situation where he might not be so free to move, or so free to move around in and around this kind of business park area here. So let's see what he does here, guys. Okay, 5's up at 1.1. I've got everyone here. Into a parking lot. Into a parking lot. Atlas Avenue, Saturn. Yeah. Care first. Widen out. Ooh. What? Hand up. It sure does. You saw that left hand, and Rich Prickett, our Sky 5 photographer, also called that out here as left hand kind of sticking out of the driver window there. But you can see officers there in close proximity behind him, and they will be getting out of their vehicles, guns drawn. Frank, you called it here. We are right behind the Care First medical facility. We believe that's going to be a medical facility here, but the Care First health plan right at the intersection of Atlas Avenue and Saturn Street. And, of course, this is the parking lot right behind, and it looks like he is exiting his vehicle. Arms are up. He's backing up. It does not look like he necessarily has a long rifle type of weapon, which was initially reported to be that deadly weapon here, but they are now going to issue him some orders so that they can take this guy into custody here. Now, we believe from the shots that we were seeing earlier from the front of the vehicle that this guy might have been the only occupant of that vehicle here. We'll get some clarification on that shortly, but you can see officers with guns drawn. This suspect here now out of the vehicle, right in the parking lot, right at the rear of the Care First facility here off the 60 freeway here. It's going to be right off Potrero Grande, intersection of Atlas Avenue and Saturn Street. It's going to be in the parking lot. This guy's going to be getting down on his knees as the deputies here, again, make their approach and take this guy into custody here. So again, their next course of action, of course, is to make sure that vehicle doesn't have any additional occupants here, and that this guy doesn't have any weapons on him, and they'll try and identify that long rifle if in fact that AK-47 style rifle is still in the vehicle here. So again, that's going to be a point of interest here, but you can get a good look at this guy as he has moved to the back of that Southgate PD officer's vehicle there, and he is being searched. And let's widen out just a touch here because I want to see what happens with the vehicle here, because we know that this guy is going to be in custody here. So they want to make sure that there's not an additional occupant inside of the vehicle here. We don't believe there to be, but again, they want to get some clarification here. So that's why they have not necessarily made their approach without a reasonable sense of assurance that there is not an additional person in the vehicle here, because if there is, you know, given the circumstance that this guy was reportedly in possession of an AK-47 style weapon, that might pose some additional risk here. So you have a couple of officers there making the approach. They're clearing the vehicle, making sure that there are no other people in there, and they'll of course have a look and give the code 4 that the vehicle is clear of any occupants. So that is certainly some good news here. Again, be right behind the Care First facility here off Potrero Grande here in Montebello, and this is where this pursuit has come to an end here. Now, we don't know if that AK-47 style weapon is still in the vehicle here. Hopefully, over the course of the next couple of minutes, they'll be able to determine that. But in this particular instance, this guy is now in custody. Okay. Yeah. Sheriff 7 TV5, thank you very much for the help. Okay. 11, you up? Thank you.